better cock your pistols.
Mr. Graham, we've been waiting for you. Well, now that everyone's here, Mr. Brodax will join you shortly.
Let me guess. We all got the same telegrams and the same copy of Brodax's latest edition.
We never met formally, but since we're sharing the same headline, I'm Wally Hanrahan.
Frank Graham.
Of course, you recognize Carl Ross and Cindy McNichol.
I think you're the best magician in the world.
Thank you. And I think you're beautiful.
And I think you're pushing your luck.
Coffee, anyone?
Make mine black, Wally.
Get your own, Brodax.
Is that any way to greet an old friend?
What's this all about?
Well, if you must know, boys and girls, it's about a special edition of Tattletale and you four, who in the last 12 months have all sued me and all lost.
And this is your way of rubbing our noses in it?
Haven't you heard us enough?
I merely print the truth, sweetheart. That's why I called you here this morning, so that you'll have the opportunity to respond to these stories. Thompson?
Just tell me precisely what you want to say to our readers.
Brodax, you're a dead man.
Take down Mr. Ross's words exactly, Thompson. I don't want the champ to accuse us of misquoting him. Mr. Graham, how about you?
Words are your weapons, Brodax. I've got my own.
And Wally?
You've gone too far this time, Hal.
Well, Thompson, I thought that went very well, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Excellent. You were masterful.
Oh, well, yes. Tell you what we'll do. We'll run a news story leading off with their threats against me. Then I'll make a statement. No amount of intimidation will prevent Tattletale from sticking to its high journalistic standards. Oh, no. Ron, could you get that for me? It's an article I worked on all last night.
Sure thing, Mr. Brodax.
Here you are, son.
By the way, your story on the 8-year-old girl who eats fire, too sketchy. Get some interviews. Talk to her friends, her principal. Ask her dentist how it affects her teeth.
That's it. Now, don't worry about a thing, little buddy. We're gonna get you all fixed up, and go back to your resting friends. They're manufactured in Hong Kong for less than $3 a pair. Shipping back to the States, advertising, packaging, promoting runs only another $1.85 a pair.
Murray,
I thought we had a rule about business out here at the ranch.
That's
Now, we sell them to the outlets for $10.50 a pair. That's for $22.50 a pair.
Who'd you say you worked
gives us
for?
a net profit of $5.15 for each pair we
What's
sell.
that D
Now,
stand
I've run
for?
a cost comparison with the Taiwan
Would
mills.
you marry me?
Hold it now, fellas.
Houston!
Murray,
Houston!
I think that this is a great investment. I can never get you at the office, so...
Houston!
Yeah, just a minute, CJ. Ladies, listen. I'm sorry you had to come all the way out here. But see, there's no business out here. There's a time and a place for everything.
Just name it. Houston, I need you.
CJ, if... CJ, like I told Murray, I'm up to here in trouble. I've got 15 head of calves stranded up in White Pine Meadow.
Houston, it's Johnny Randolph. His dad got in the way of a murder attempt. He's been badly hurt.
Now, don't you worry about them calves, Houston.
Just take care of them for me, would you? Okay, girls. Back in the bus.
Ron Randolph was more than just Houston's landscaper. He was an old friend. And one thing you have to know about Houston, he doesn't like it when his friends get hurt.
CJ, why don't you call ahead to the house?
Let them know you're going to investigate? I already have.
Thank you. Oh, Johnny. Easy, buddy. Come on, let's go sit down. All right? Come on. You'll be all right. Here, sit there, partner. Listen to me. It's gonna be all right. You get my word on that, okay?
But the doctors don't know me.
I know, Johnny, slow down for a minute, okay? Johnny, you're gonna have to be the man in the family for a little while now. You know that, don't you? I know you're scared. Think about how scared your brothers and sisters are.
You want to help him, don't you?
Yeah, sure you do. I know you do. You get to pull up real hard now and get a hold of yourself. You do that for me, won't you? Yeah, I know you will. Now, you got to tell me. Tell me exactly what happened out there.
I'll tell you what happened. Someone tried to silence the press, kill the First Amendment. Well, let me tell you, the pen is mightier than the sword. Johnny?
Just who the hell are you?
Brodax. Al Brodax. I'm the publisher of Tattletale. Johnny, I want you to call this number and ask for Cappy. He's one of my best reporters. He's going to ask you some questions. And you're going to make $50. You'd like to make $50, wouldn't you, Johnny?
But what do I have to do?
Just answer Cappy's questions. Oh, and we're going to need a photograph of you, too. It'll be a wonderful article, you'll see. I saw my dad electrocuted.
Just a warm, sensitive human being.
Yeah, just why don't you tell me exactly what you're doing here?
Someone tried to kill me this morning, Mr. Houston. My swimming pool was sabotaged. 220 volts of electricity. When the boy's father tried to retrieve some papers for me that had fallen into the water, he nearly got killed. I want to talk about our catching and convicting the lunatic who's done this.
Our catching?
Someone from here called and said you were investigating this matter. Well, I'm here to join forces with you. I'm ready to lend the full power and investigative capabilities of Tattletale. What do you say?
I'll tell you quite honestly, Mr. Brodax, I'm not interested in you or Tattletale helping me on this case. But I tell you something else. I'm going to find out who tried to kill my friend. Johnny,
Houston, don't worry about it. I'll get Johnny back to his family.
Fine. Remember what I said, all right? I'm going to show you the way out. You get a hold of Murray, and you tell him to get down to the nursery and start taking care of things.
Simple, really. The electrical line leading into the water pump was cut and fed directly into the circulator.
So if Brodax wanted to take a little dip in the pool.
He'd have been dead before he came up for air.
Yeah.
Lucky Ron Randolph was wearing rubber boots. Took quite a jolt of electricity, but he's still alive, barely.
Vince, how tough would it be to really change that kind of wiring?
It's a cinch for anybody with a basic knowledge of wiring and electricity.
So let me guess, our would-be killer was wearing gloves so there aren't any fingerprints?
Yes, but we are not completely without leads.
Losers of the year.
Sounds like our friend Brodax was very good at winning friends and influencing people.
Mr. Houston, have you solved the case yet?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Brodax, Lieutenant Novelli and myself were just going over the suspects when he handed me this.
Eye-catching, isn't it? Should be a sellout.
Mr. Brodax, I doubt that the people on the front page share your enthusiasm.
I'm not in this business to make friends. By the way, my offer still stands if you need any help.
Yeah. Well, listen, have any of these people ever threatened you before?
Well, they all did this morning. You see, Mr.
Perhaps I should explain. Last night, I sent each of them an advance copy of this week's edition and asked them here to get their reactions.
It seems like you got yourself a whole swimming pool full of reactions, Mr. Brodax.
And a front page full of suspects. Of all that was going on, Houston wanted to make sure everything was going well at the nursery while Johnny's father was in the hospital.
Yeah. Oh. Phone. Excuse me. Houston Enterprises. Check that. Randolph Nursery. Yes, of course, I'm sure. Now, what is it you want? Cannabis sativa? Is that a fern? Or a plant or a bush? None of the above? Well, something you smoke? No, we do not carry that in stock. Do you know what the... Oh, I'm sorry. Miss, excuse me, please. Here, look, have your dress cleaned on up, all right? And come back.
And bring an umbrella. Murray.
I'm sorry. Houston, I need help.
Murray, Beverly Hills is full of shrinks.
Not that kind of help. It's this business. Ron has got a monumental backlog of deliveries.
Well, it looks like business is just fine. I mean, a little soggy, but fine.
Houston, Ron is in the hospital. He has delivery problems. I have been on the phone for an hour trying to hire a delivery person. There are none. Our society is devoid of delivery people. If I were not a sane, rational person, I would say that there is some kind of fiendish plot. Maybe there is.
Yeah, Murray, listen. Get Bo and Lamar on the phone. Have them get their tails out here and give you a hand.
Oh, no. No, please. Now, listen.
Murray. Murray. Now, it's either Bo and Lamar or a shrink, and shrinks cost $85 an hour. Now, if CJ calls, you tell her I'm at the hospital visiting Ron. Now, you just take it easy, Murray.
Sorry.
That's not meat you're marinating. Ow! CJ, you're trying to kill me or something. CJ! Oh, what is that on there? It burns like acid.
It's acid. Just kidding, Houston.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Did you see the look? What's wrong with Mary Ann?
What's wrong with Mary Ann is her name's Alex.
Oh. Ouch! CJ!
Houston, would you stop being such a baby?
Baby, that reminds me, I knew there was something else we could be doing besides this.
She's all programmed and ready to go. Did you get a chance to talk to Ron Randolph?
Well, I called the hospital. They said he's in pretty rough shape, but they believe he's gonna make it.
Well, that's good news.
You bet it is.
Okay.
What do we got?
Hello, baby. First up, Cindy McNichol, Miss July for Sultan Magazine.
You don't suppose Baby's got a copy of the centerfold in there? We just put it up, okay? Oh, that's nice.
Try not to drool all over the couch, Houston. Now, Brodax alleged in his newspaper that Cindy only got the centerfold because there was pressure from certain individuals in organized crime, namely...
Carl the Champ Ross.
The Champ?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's one of the most ruthless men in organized crime. He fancies himself as a boxer. His most recent stint in Leavenworth, he had a standing invitation to $10,000 for anyone who could stay in the ring with him more than 3 rounds.
Anybody ever take him up on it?
Only the slow-witted ones. Yeah, who's next?
The Amazing Graham, magician. One of the most popular in the country until Tattletale printed an article saying he was a bigamist. Married 3 women at the same time. Apparently has put quite a crimp into his bookings.
Yeah, not to mention the alimony.
And last but not least, Wally Hanrahan. Con artist extraordinaire. Used to work for Brodax. In fact, used to come up with all kinds of circulation building gimmicks.
Such as?
Such as the ultimate diet. Lose weight while you're sleeping. 30,000 pigeons bought that one at $10 a throw. Anyway, Brodax became a witness for the government, and Hanrahan went to jail. Mail fraud.
So, these 4 people on the cover all sued Tattletale and lost. Is there anything else about them that they have in common?
Yep. All of those stories are true.
Come on, CJ. I think it's time we go see Mr. Hanrahan.
Welcome to Tahitian paradise. The island where your dreams can come true.
You suppose we're in the wrong office?
Do you care?
No.
Follow us, please.
Anywhere you say.
Aloha, my friends. Welcome to the quiet and serenity that can only be found at Tahitian paradise. Welcome to the opportunity to own your own piece of a tropical South Sea island. I know what you're going to say. You can't afford a luxury condo. Wrong. Anyone can. For peanuts. How? By sharing the cost with 51 other fortunate owners. Yes, for an entire week, every year, you can bask in the sun, swim in the seas of romance.
You rub shoulders with ex-cons?
Who are you?
My name's Matt Houston. This is C.J. Parsons, my associate. We'd kind of like to talk to you about Al Brodax.
Oh. Sorry, kids. False alarm. Take 10. Brodax, huh? Yeah, well, I heard somebody try to kill him this morning. Too bad they missed.
We understand he isn't your favorite person.
I made his paper with my promotions.
And then you made one promotion too many.
The Ultimate Diet. Yeah, well, Brodax was in it as much as I was. Only he kept better records. I guess you might say he was smarter than me in those days, see? I trusted him.
Sounds like a good motive for murder.
Sure it does. And I would have killed him 3 years ago when I first got indicted, or even after I got out of jail. But now, are you crazy? This Tahitian Paradise thing is a gold mine. And legit.
Well, Brodak's swimming pool had to be wired sometime last night. I don't suppose you'd mind telling us where you were last night.
Leilani, Kamalani, the gentleman wants to know where I was last night. Aloha, you all. Aloha, my friends. Welcome to the quiet...
3 most attractive parts, I might add. Etc. Bravo, bravo. Let's get in front of it. And now, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a trunk. What we also have here is a beautiful lady. We put the beautiful lady in the trunk, making certain, of course, that there is no way that she can get out. One, 2,
3!
What do you want to do? He's in the box now. That is really amazing.
Yeah. I'm also a mind reader, and I'm getting a name. Dallas? No, Houston. Matt Houston. Yeah, Vince Novelli told you I'd be coming by.
Now you know one of my secrets.
Yeah, this is C.J. Parsons.
Ah, for you. Sorry about that. Do you mind?
Well,
Let me try this again. For you.
thank you.
Here, I'll get rid of that. Nice place to roost.
That's wonderful. You're full of tricks.
Well, why don't you stick around and catch my show? I have a matinee in an hour.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, listen, I hate to be the one to throw a cold bucket of water.
But you want to know if I was the one who tried to kill Brodax, and the answer is no. Now, if you want to ask me if I felt like killing him, the answer is yes. Bigamy is definitely not a good image for magicians.
Neither is murder. Which leads me to the classic question.
I left this theater at midnight and went straight home.
Alone?
Are you kidding? Can a man with 3 wives ever be alone? Now, if you'll excuse me. I do have a show to prepare for.
Houston, would you do me a favor?
What's that?
Don't ask me to follow that man.
Right.
Houston figured that with Hanrahan's 2 hula girls and the magician's 3 wives as alibis, it was time I did some checking. Meanwhile, he went on alone to keep his appointment with the infamous Carl the Champ Ross.
Yeah?
I'm Matt Houston. I believe I've got an appointment.
Oh, yeah, Houston. The boss is warming up now, so you're going to have to wait a few minutes. Tell you what, follow me.
Well, sure. Oh. Wait a minute, aren't you Archie O'Brien?
Hey, you remember me?
Well, who could forget? I mean, that fight you had with Ingersoll.
Oh, hey, yeah, that was some battle.
You guys must have went toe-to-toe for 8 rounds, huh?
Yeah, suddenly I hit him with an uppercut, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah. Well, you're working for Carl Ross now.
Oh, yeah, I kind of help him work out. You know, I spar with him, you know. And he likes me. I let him win.
What kind of boss is he?
Mr. Ross is very good to me. Look, why don't you, you can wait in here, and somebody will be back to pick you up in a minute.
Thank you.
I know King Tut. He does have a blue aura. You can't see it, but it's there.
Is that bad?
Oh, no, it's very good. In fact, King Tut always barks at people with blue auras. It means you have good karma.
Let me ask you a question.
My spirit is willing.
What is that contraption there?
It's a pyramid. A metaphysical miracle discovered by the Egyptians thousands of years ago and then forgotten.
What's it do?
Keeps me at peace with the world. You must be the man who is coming to talk about Al Brodax.
Right, yeah.
My name is Cindy McNichol.
I know. I recognize that your face is familiar.
Care to hear what I think?
Sure.
I think Brodax was asking for it. He's a vulture, and somebody should take him out and shoot him.
Mr. Ross will see you now.
I enjoyed sharing my peace with you.
Like, me too.
Yeah, Mr. Houston. U-Box?
Well, to tell you the truth...
Good. I thought you did. Archie, give me your gloves.
Mr. Ross, I just came out here to talk to you for a minute.
Oh, fine. We'll talk. Put the gloves on and step into the ring. Unless you're afraid.
Mr. Ross, does it bother you that you're wearing the boxing shoes and the headgear and those nifty trunks and I'm in a suit and boots?
I heard you were a tough guy.
Well, I wouldn't really say that. Mama certainly didn't raise any fools.
I already made my best offer. Step into the ring, and then we'll talk. You know, you interest me, Mr. Houston. You're one of the few people on Earth that has more money than I do. And yet you run around playing cops and robbers. Now, why is that?
Because I enjoy it.
Your enjoyment's gonna get you hurt.
Watch him. He uses every dirty trick in the book.
Suppose I ought to tell you the house rules. There aren't any.
Mr. Ross, I believe you just stepped in it.
I understand you've come here to insult me.
Not really. I just wanted...
No, you just wanted to ask if I was responsible for the attempt on Brodax's life, huh?
Was curious.
I have every right to want him dead. But electrifying a swimming pool, that's strictly amateur. If I wanted a man dead, I'd have him shot.
Ross?
If I find out who did this, I will kill him. I swear I'll kill him.
You were right, Houston. Shot came from over the hill over there. Had to be an expert. It's over 300 yards.
Vince, the whole thing doesn't make any sense. I mean, up to now, we knew our killer had to be somebody with a grudge against Brodax.
Yeah, somebody hurt by his paper.
That's right. And then someone tries to get me at the nursery yesterday, and now they got one of our suspects.
Lieutenant, they tell me I need your permission to get a photograph of Ross's remains.
You also need my permission to be on the scene of the crime. You have neither. Now leave.
You trying to hide something from the press? The American public has a right to know.
Put your flag away and get off this property before I arrest you.
For what?
For being obnoxious on the scene of a crime. Now beat it.
Okay, I'll go. But don't think you can hide anything from me. Tattletale is America's watchdog.
Vince, I didn't know you had a temper.
Well, I still haven't got anything firm on either Hanrahan or Graham's alibis.
Of course not. I mean, why should it? I mean, why should anything come easy on this case?
Houston, do you think Ross's murder is connected to the attack on you and the attempt on Brodax?
I'm positive, CJ. There's got to be a connection linking one of our suspects to both Brodax and Ross.
Well, I'll keep digging.
Yeah, well, it's got to be, CJ.
Well, got to be what?
There's got to be the connection between Brodax and Ross. Somebody who wanted to see them both dead.
Where are you going?
I'm going to dinner.
Well, Houston, I haven't had dinner yet. Of course, I'm not hungry either.
Your aura is bluer than ever.
Well, thank you, Cindy. Listen, we need your help. Vince and I think that you're our only possible link to Brodax and Ross.
You see, you were living with a gangster, and Brodax let this entire country know through that scandal sheet of his.
Things change. I'm now undergoing a rebirth of consciousness, motivation, and intent to all my fellow men.
Well, that's swell, Cindy. I think what Vince is trying to say is that we figure you might have attracted a self-appointed savior somewhere along the line.
Like your father, brother, old boyfriend.
Yeah, someone who loved you enough, someone who didn't like the way you were being treated by those fellas.
You believe that Carl was murdered and someone tried to kill Mr. Brodax because of me?
Well, we think that's very possible. Now, how do you feel about that?
Forgive me. Meditation teaches one to observe matters from a distance.
No, sit. Lost her again, Vince.
Allora, did you decide what to order?
Mama, you order, please.
Oh, no. When I decide, you always complain it's too much food, it's too much this, too much that. Troppo difficile, say. Tonight, you order. So, pretty lady, what would you like? Hey, pretty lady. Vincent, what's the matter? Oh, poverina. You both make her wait so long to eat, she faints from hunger.
She didn't faint, Mama. She's in meditation.
Medication you get in a hospital, not in my ristorante.
Mama, it's not medication, it's meditation. She's deep in thought.
For my menu. It's not that complicated.
Mama, please, some food.
Okay, tell me what you like.
Same as Houston.
Yeah, I'll have the same as Cindy.
Benissimo. Three of the same coming right up.
She's back. Listen, did you think any more about that? Who might have loved you enough to kill for you, just to protect you?
No one. I have no family. I was abandoned by my parents at the age of 14. There was never any boyfriend. Carl Ross was the only man who ever showed me any kindness.
Benedetti, ragazzi. But why you want to fool Mama like that? You just gave me 3 orders of nothing.
Make it 4.
Listen, I got your order right here. No problem. 5 o'clock guaranteed. Fellas!
Hurry.
Houston, thank the Dow Jones averages, you're finally here.
What's wrong now, Murray?
Paul and Lamar, They think they're running a demolition derby. Take a look at this place.
Hey there, Johnny. Just the man I'm looking for.
I am?
Yeah. Tell you, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Listen, don't you worry about old Bo and Lamar there. They'll make everything up, I can guarantee you. Listen, I saw your dad at the hospital this morning.
They say he's getting better.
Yeah, that's right. See, I needed to ask him a couple of questions about what happened to him the other morning, but he was still sleeping.
Well, I was there. Maybe I could tell you.
You know, Johnny, that's what I thought. So what I'd like you to do is think real hard for me and see if you can tell me everything you remember.
Well, we were planting flowers, and Mr. Broadox came out for his morning swim. And he was talking to some reporter guy.
Can you tell me what they said?
Something about a girl eating fire. And then his papers fell into the pool, and he started yelling at my dad to get them out. He said they were an article that he worked on all night.
Huh. Article.
That's what he said. That means something?
Houston, it's phone for you. It's CJ. She says it's important.
Be right back. What do you got, CJ?
Maybe the missing link. I just found out that Hanrahan and Carl the Champ Ross served time in Leavenworth together. From what I could dig up, they have a mutual hate society. Which means that he'd want to kill both of them.
Yeah, I'm still here, CJ. I just strikes me a little funny that I just never figured our Polynesian king to be a killer. We better pay him another visit.
Freeze? Why?
The cops say that in situations like this.
You're going to unfreeze, and you're going to find out what this bad guys do in situations like this.
Listen, Now that I've got your attention, let me ask you a question.
Be my guest.
Thank you. Why are you trying to kill Mr. Hanrahan?
He killed my boss because of what happened in Leavenworth. Brodax told me. If you don't believe me, take a look over in that corner.
I never saw it before. I swear to you, I never saw that gun before.
I'm beginning to feel as out of place as a prairie dog at a rattlesnake convention. I mean, we got a sleazo syndicate boss that's dead. We got a sleazo gossip publisher who almost got killed. I nearly got myself killed, and I'm beginning to wonder why.
Oh, yeah.
See, this builds your arms up, your shoulders.
Don't say anything.
Did I say anything?
Just
I didn't say anything.
Don't say anything.
Just help you out a lot.
Hello there, Johnny. How's it going, buddy?
Hi, Houston, Miss Parsons.
What? Got the bus? CJ?
Hey, will you stop your gagging and get back to work? We got lots of this work to do here, Jay. Discipline. That's a secret of good management. Murray taught me that. Well, come on. Don't just stand there. We got lots more to hear. Here.
Pull it back here, John.
Take this.
Huh?
Get going. Go over here there, John.
Just in time. Join me in a toast. This has really been a great day for us, Mr. Houston. You have caught a murderer, and I've got a story worthy of another special edition.
Yes, you do. And you can start by telling your readers how you sent a professional fighter after Hanrahan, a man who used to make a living with his fist. Now, how'd you know it was Hanrahan?
I figured it had to be him. He was the only one who had a grudge against both me and Ross.
Which brings us to our next point.
Right. How'd you know about that grudge?
Read about it with the rest of America in Tattletale. Only cost a quarter.
Excuse me, but Mr. Houston has a phone call. It's Murray from your office, line 3.
Thank you. Hello, Murray. Yeah. I got it. It seems like Frank Graham just called. He wants me to meet him at the theater. Says he knows who killed Ross. It wasn't Hanrahan.
What?
Yeah. Tell you what, CJ, I'm going to have Bo and Lamar take you back to the office, and I'll talk to you a little later on, okay?
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the cage is absolutely empty. Empty. But now, with a few magic words and perhaps a little bit of luck, let's see what we can do. Well, I thank you, sir, for the applause. Small but very discriminating audience.
Yeah, well, my office tells me that you're in a position to incriminate. They tell me that you know who killed Ross.
Indeed, I do. And when you hear my evidence, you'll be convinced as well. The murderer is Al Brodax.
That's very good, Maestro. How'd you figure it out?
Yeah, well, actually, it wasn't him. It was me.
Where are the cops?
He's supposed to be here any minute now. That phone conversation out at your house, that was all a setup. This here's a trap.
What are you talking about?
Well, see, you staged your very own murder attempt. Yeah, you rigged your pool, and then you conveniently let those papers drop in, and you wanted Ron Randolph to fish them out for you. Then when you were sure that everybody knew somebody was trying to kill you, you murdered Ross. Yeah, and you knew the police were going to connect it to Hanrahan. That way you got rid of both of them.
I'd have gotten away with it, too, if you hadn't stuck your nose at it.
What are we going to do?
I'm not real sure. You're the magician. Why don't you just disappear us out of here? You're probably wondering where you slipped up, aren't you? Well, I'm going to tell you. It was the papers in the pool. See, I found a piece of that paper on the bottom of my boot the other day, and it was blank. It bothered me an awful lot, because you told Ron Randolph that it was an article that you'd been working on all night.
The trunk has a trap door.
Oh, good. I'll tell you what. I'll distract him, and you make a run for it. Now. Better hide and stay hidden. Give it up, Brodax. Police are on their way now.
Houston, I'm not gonna let you bring me down for killing that mobster. He was bleeding me dry. After he lost the lawsuit, he still wanted the money. He said he'd kill me if I didn't give him half the tattletale.
Something. If Mr. Pulitzer ever gives a prize for malice, you're going to have it all sewn up. Come on.
Houston, where are you? Houston, are you all right?
I'm fine, Vince, but I'm afraid you missed the show. Come on, Brodax.
Slowly, stay together now. That's it, perfect. Just relax.
Murray? Well, Murray, what in the Sam Hill is going on
How
here?
do you know?
Know what?
That's my name, Samantha Hill.
Is it really?
Before you say another word, did you or did you not say no business at the ranch? Huh? Did you, huh?
Yeah, I did.
Which means business is to take place at the office.
And dinner takes place in a restaurant. Hungry?
A little bit.
All right, ignore me. Send me away. Hang me by my heels for looking after your interests. Crucify me for my responsibility.
Murray, don't be so melodramatic. Houston was just talking about you.
He was?
Yes, he was.
Yes, I was, Murray. And I was just telling CJ about how I was going over the facts and figures on the company that you left me.
Really?
Well, yeah, really, Murray. See, now I think it's a dandy little company. Now, if the numbers are right, I think...
The numbers are more than right. Houston, the guy who owns the company is a genius when it comes to designing jeans, but he is a babe in the woods when it comes to money. I'm telling you, Houston, we can steal this company.
Oh, no, we can't.
We can't?
No. See, you can't steal anything you already own. See, I bought half interest in that company this morning. See, it's just like you said, Murray. The man's a genius, and he's probably a pretty nice fella, and we wouldn't want to steal something from somebody like that, now would we?
Not me.
No.
And Murray, because Houston wants to protect his investment, he wants you to buy something else. He wants you to buy the modeling agency.
Modeling agency?
Well, yeah, Murray. See, I figure as long as you've got the product, you've got to have the right packaging.
Better cock your pistols.
I don't think we ought to be here.
Oh, come on, Sam. I've waited 7 years for this. I intend to savor every second of it.
Drive around to the side, Peters.
Why all the secrecy, Goody?
Listen carefully to it. It all has to do with the element of surprise. If Pierre Sedan had the slightest inclination that J. Hamilton Goodfellow...
World-famous gourmet and critic par excellence.
We're about to critique his highly overpriced eatery. Well, let me put it in simpler terms, Twig. Did Cain send Abel a Western Union death threat? Did Delilah sharpen her scissors in the presence of Samson?
Never mind, Peters. Quietly.
Welcome. How nice of you to grace my restaurant.
Oh, stop smiling like a dyspeptic cobra, you handsome frog. You ruined my surprise attack. By the way, have you seen my junior partner? Maybe he's supposed to meet me in the alley. Being great. Oh, succulent. Oh, provocative. Ambrosia.
I thought you'd like to see this advance copy. It shows Mr. Marsden presenting you with our Restaurant of the Year award.
Wonderful.
Oh, come on, Pierre, get the lad out, will you? I mean, kindly show me to my table, post-haste.
Of course, please.
Wonderful. Oh, Pierre, you are a devil. Your food is the death of me yet. Your crepes, your soufflés, your canard l'orange. I must have them all tonight. A gastronomical orgy. Now, what in heaven's name is that monstrosity?
Don't you know? You sent it.
Me? Ridiculous. It looks like something left over from a scrap iron convention.
It's supposed to be a gelatin mold, according to the young men who delivered it. And they said it was for you.
For me? A gelatin mold the size of Mount Rushmore for me. What am I supposed to do with it? Feed the Mormon Tabernacle Choir? Well, let's have a look.
It's Mr. Marsden!
Somebody's murdered my partner.
Now, this phone is supposed to be for emergencies only. Now, listen, I have complete trust in you. Now, if you have to make these executive decisions, I mean, why don't you go ahead? I trust your judgment. Now, if you think Houston Industries really needs to switch over from manual pencil sharpeners to electric ones, then why don't you go ahead and do it? Now, how'd you get this phone number? I don't even have it myself yet. Murray, I told you 1,000 times there's no business out here at the ranch. Goodbye. Now, I'm real sorry, Kelly. What was it you were saying?
Don't. Repeat, don't lock down the throttle.
No, I won't. No, I'll nip the throttle.
Okay, Houston. How about a little bet? Maybe just a little 10 spot? Well, of course, unless you don't want to race a girl.
Lamar, that's a pretty chauvinistic remark.
Houston, why put your money where your chauvinistic is? Unless you're afraid.
You're on to the house. $10.
Then let's go.
All right.
On your mark. Get set.
Hey, you can't! Houston! You come back here and start right!
Houston, you lost the throttle!
Don't lock off the throttle. Don't lock off the throttle.
If there was anything Houston hated more than getting his boots wet, it was the news that his friend Prince Pulaski, the famous restaurateur, had been arrested for the gelatin mold murder of Roger Marsden. So, after he changed his boots and his attitude, we headed for the Prince's restaurant to find out why Novelli had arrested him. Well, I'll collect the information on those people closest to the victim, like you asked. But the case against the Prince is...
Hello, Vince. How's it going this morning?
Sorry, Houston. I heard you and the Prince were friends. I think we just found the murder weapon inside.
Brian, what might that be?
A very large gelatin mold. Still had traces of orange gelatin in it.
Well, Vince, there must be hundreds of those around town.
Made in Russia, 1937.
Oh.
Russia, 1937. How'd you figure that out?
Modern scientific technique. Turned the mold upside down, rubber was on the bottom.
Yeah, well, Vince, listen, I'm sure the Prince has an ironclad alibi.
Your client was home, alone, and asleep.
Well, in that case, his alibi is liable to end up in the Guinness Book of Records as the weakest one since Benedict Arnold flunked his polygraph.
Yeah, Vince, I mean, the man's a widower. You want to see him at the White House, tap dancing at a press conference?
Houston, you better scoot your boots or it's going to be arraignment time.
Oh, that's right. Listen, would you give C.J. a lift back to the office? C.J., warm up, baby, and get started on the information. I'll take care of His Highness.
That's American justice, eh? American justice. First, I'm arrested for a crime I didn't commit. Second, I gotta put a fourth mortgage on my restaurant so I can pay you back for the bail that I had to put up for that. And on top of that, me, a prince of royalty, I have to put up bail while the legitimate criminals with our list down to here, they go out free on their own recognizance, whatever it is.
Listen, Prince, now you got to explain to me a little more about this gelatin mold that Novelli found in your restaurant. I mean, that's pretty incriminating stuff.
What's the matter with you? I'm a world-class restaurateur. I, Prince Sergei Peter Ilyich Polensky. I am not running a cafeteria. I never used such a mold, and I would never use orange gelatin.
Yeah, well, listen, somebody used it, Prince, and they stuck it in your kitchen. Now, have you got any idea who'd want to frame you?
Of course, the murderers. Wait a minute. Do you know why the judge made that bail so high? He was afraid I was going to run back to Russia.
Come on, Prince. You know who you're talking to here. This is little Matlock, you know? I mean, the kid you used to let lick the cake bowls when you were making the cake. The kid you used to tell stories to, you know? The kid you taught the importance of being free.
You know, I owe all that to your father. You know, when I came to this country, I was nothing but a Russian peasant with a dream of a Statue of Liberty in a void called freedom. But your father, he sponsored me for my American citizenship. I'll never forget that, never.
Yeah, well, he did say of all his investments, you were his biggest dividend.
It's a fancy way of saying I was the family cook, huh?
Yeah. Listen, Prince, now, we got to get back to this thing because it's really bothering me. Now, do you have any idea of anybody who'd want to see you take the fall for Marsden's death?
Any restaurateur in town. They always looking to knock off the champ, right? And I'm the champ. I was the champ till they ruined me.
You were they, meaning Marsden and his partner, J. Hamilton Goodfellow.
Who else?
Yeah, well, listen, the police told me that you threatened to kill both of them.
And they deserved it. They ruined me. For what? They don't know the difference between a plate of borscht and a banana.
Now, the question is, who besides the Prince would want to see Marsden dead? Now, who we got?
Well, the names and numbers of the first-string players, the people closest to Marsden, starting with his partner. Goodfellow, J. Hamilton. The J doesn't stand for anything. He gave it to himself as a present in order to be different. He was born in New York, the Bronx, 1930. Then he moved to Hollywood, where he majored in affectation.
He could have minored in murder also. You see, partners have a way of falling out.
You bet. Now, that's Terry Anton, Goodfellow's constant companion, and maybe a little more.
Nice hors d'oeuvre.
Pierre Sardin, former French decathlon champ, soccer star extraordinaire, Marsden's best friend, and the owner of the restaurant where the body turned up.
Listen, any idea on who made the delivery yet?
Well, nothing that's really going to help us. It's a regular delivery service. Apparently, they got a call late in the afternoon to deliver from the Prince's to Chez Pierre.
Well, who made the call?
Well, this is the part you're not going to like. Apparently, it was a man with an accent who called himself the Prince.
Oh, swell. Who's next?
Kate Riley. She's the producer-director of Marsden and Goodfellow's television show. Most importantly, she's Marsden's ex-wife.
Ex-wife as in bitter divorce?
As in cat and dog fight. From what I could find out, this divorce gives a new meaning to the word nasty.
Well, that's a good reason for murder.
Now, this is Kate's brother, Sam, who is very loyal, very protective, and according to his past record, very dangerous. Well, you got a lot of candidates. Where do you want to start?
Well, I think we ought to start with Mr. Goodfellow, Jay Hamilton. Listen, CJ, keep digging and see what you can come up with on Marsden's will. I'd like to know exactly how that man decided to slice up the pie, you know what I mean?
With any luck, a la mode.
Promo's almost over.
All right, stand by. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hadn't planned to say what I'm about to say. This is strictly impromptu. In closing, during this first show without my dear friend and partner, Roger Marsden, leaves me feeling like a chocolate without the mousse, crepe without Suzette, Vichy without the Soise. It's lonely here without Roger. We shall do our best to carry on in the high standards you set for all of us. Until we meet in that great restaurant in the sky, good night and bon appetit. Roger.
And cut. That's a wrap. We're in the wrong location, boys.
Don't you touch that, you cretin. Can't you see I'm famished? I'm going to finish every last tender morsel.
Maybe you should come back later. Mr. Goodfellow hates to be disturbed while he's eating. It has to do with the, digestive juices or something.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it too much, miss. I don't think there's much I could say to him that's going to put him off his feed.
Excuse me. I have to finish typing Goody's newspaper column.
Right, listen, could I ask you a question?
All right.
Okay, is it Roger Marsden and yourself? Now, how did you two get along?
My typing. I really have to get back to it.
Yeah, but... Oh, Miss Riley. Miss Riley, excuse me. My name's Matt Houston.
Of course it is. Bernie, get the lead out. We've got a flower show to cover.
Listen, I wondered if I might ask you a couple questions about your late husband and how he died.
Not soon enough, that's how. Should have happened years ago. Excuse me, please.
But I really did,
Kate's busy. She hasn't time for you now.
Listen, partner, maybe your owner ought to tell you about the new leash law. Now, why don't you take your hand off my shoulder? Mr. Goodfellow!
If you're collecting for some charity, I didn't give it the office, and I never give it home.
Fine. Listen, my name's Matt Houston, and I'm a private detective.
Boots. Worse than that, cowboy boots. I hope you didn't tether your trusty steed on my front lawn. It's prize-winning dichondra, and when it needs fertilizer, my gardener gets it through legal channels.
Listen, I'm representing Prince Polanski.
My condolences. The man is guilty of sin.
Well, I don't really believe that, and I was hoping I could get a little cooperation from you.
Sorry, Sundance. Since my partner died, my workload has doubled, and I have no time to play Starsky and Hutch with you.
Mr. Goodfellow, you really should have told me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Stop. What are you doing? It's not my birthday.
Oh, but the delivery man insisted that it was.
Where are you going with my cake?
Get out! Oh!
You ruined my birthday cake!
Well, I thought it was a bomb. I mean, you're the one that told me it wasn't your birthday.
Well, it isn't, but I love birthday cake, especially the frosting. I wonder who sent it.
Oh, this came with it.
Oh, may I? Thank you. If you like Marsden gelatin, you're gonna love Goodfellow Under Glass. It's unsigned. Appears to be a death threat, Mr. Goodfellow.
It's ridiculous. It's just a silly prank. Don't you think? Well, I suppose it could. Perhaps I will cooperate with you in exchange for protection.
You got it. All the protection you need if you tell me everything you know.
Now, why do you want to talk to the prince about that exploding cake?
Well, because I had a taste of what was left of it, and there's only one person I know of who uses burnt almond mandalay in his cakes, and he's it. He's famous for it.
Mandalay like in Burma?
Yeah. Yeah, see, it's very rare, very expensive, and hard to come by. We used to go crazy over it when we were kids.
Well, Houston, if he's famous for it, whoever's trying to make the prince look guilty would be sure to use burnt almond mandalay, too.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought, but I'll tell you something else. That Kate Riley sure got away from me in a hurry a while back.
For that matter, J. Hamilton Goodfellow could have sent it himself.
You're looking for the prince, forget it. Went into exile, he skipped.
When?
Probably right after he tried to transport J. Hamilton Goodfellow to the Never Never Land with that trick birthday cake.
So you heard about that, huh?
Yeah. My ears are still vibrating. Let's say that Goodfellow is not exactly crazy about being murdered.
Any idea where he might have skipped to?
Probably halfway to Moscow by now. If Interpol doesn't catch up with him, you're going to be out a lot of pocket money, Houston.
No, Vince, it's not the money I'm concerned with. I know that man.
Sorry, Houston. I think you backed the loser this time.
Vince, you... Boy.
I wish all of my customers were so discerning of taste and so beautiful.
Thank you, Pierre.
Listen, Pierre, I hate to interrupt business with pleasure, but I need to ask you a couple questions. Now, have you got any idea why you inherited the corpse?
None whatsoever. That kind of publicity I don't need.
Well, look, any idea who killed Roger Marsden?
The mystery, if indeed there is one, doesn't seem to be so deep. From what I've read and heard.
Yeah, I see. So you're nominating the prince, huh?
Oh, no. I don't want to knock Polanski. He's a competitor.
He was a competitor.
This business runs in cycles. The prince had his day in the sun. Today it's my turn. Tomorrow, who knows? I owe my current success to the late Mr. Marsden and his partner, Mr. Goodfellow. Our rave reviews placed Chez Pierre where it is today.
The night Roger Marsden was found dead in here, you had a couple of customers. It was Kate Riley and her brother. Now, have they ever eaten in here before?
In the 4 years we've been open, never before.
I see. Well, that brings me to another question. Now, if you...
It certainly does. Why is this the wrong year? I ordered a 62. Please excuse me.
But,
Something's bothering you.
It's not the wine, either.
I'll bet it's the fact that Kate Riley and her brother come to this restaurant for the first time, and they find her ex-husband in a gelatin mold.
Yeah, Pierre was real anxious to tell us about it.
Now, I suggest you first start with the kiwi tarts. Marvelous. Then go to the apricot tarts. Then try the orange cake. Graduate to the chocolate cake. Go to the berries and that wonderful pyramid of puffs. And then the lime cake. And then, oh, look at that number over there. As a matter of fact, you can have anything you want. Have anything on the table, except the candles, of course.
Murray, what in the name of Too Tall Jones is going on here?
It's him. The man who came to dinner really came. See for yourself.
Oh, hello, Sundance. Welcome. Come right in. Make yourself at home. Is this Mrs. Sundance?
No, they call me Butch. That's because my mom addresses me so funny.
Excuse me, Mr. Goodfellow. This might be a silly question, but what the hell's going on here?
Well, it must be perfectly obvious. You now have J. Hamilton Goodfellow as your own personal guest.
Well, how'd they get so all-fired lucky?
Elementary, my dear Sundance. After all, you did promise me protection after my birthday cake went that-a-way, remember?
Yes, I do. I do remember something about protection.
Houston probably means police protection. That's right. Put you in a very interesting cell where nobody can get to you.
What, you got rocks in your head or something? Me in a cell? What, are you crazy?
Oh, I don't think it'll be all that bad, Mr. Goodfellow.
I would sooner starve to death. I would starve to death. Never mind. Never mind. I'll just walk out of here with no protection. I'll get out on the streets and make it simple for Prince Polanski, whom you got out of jail, to kill me. Please don't feel any guilt when you attend my funeral. Far be it from me to ever say that my death is on your head.
Oh, don't do it, Houston. This is a place of business. America.
Besides, we don't have a bedroom.
You certainly do. I took the liberty of having a cot and certain other amenities moved into somebody's office. I think they said his name was C.J.
Him is a her. C.J. is me.
I do wish you would stop changing your name, young lady. Well, never mind. I'll try not to mark your walls when I hang my paintings. And you'll find me an exceptionally charming guest. You'll love me. Trust me. Now, it's time for my beauty rest. Come along, darling. Time for our beauty rest. Ta. Grab the strawberry one.
Houston, for you?
Mrs. Houston, where are you? Will you stay put until I get there, all right? There's the Prince. He wants to see me alone.
Come, my sweetheart. That's it, darling. Come. Hey, come. I got popcorn for you. Oh, yes. I got all kinds of popcorn. Uh-huh. I put special butter on, and then I put on a little garlic salt so it'll taste good. Okay. Now take all the popcorn you want. Now, be very careful. I got a lot of butter on there and garlic salt, so don't bleed on each other. All right? Go ahead. Have fun. Oh, Matlick, I'm glad you came.
Well, I had to protect my investment, now, didn't I?
Oh, look, the bail money, I'll pay you back.
No, not the bail money. My investment in an old friend, Prince. Why'd you skip out?
Well, it's obvious, no? Huh? That Commissar Novelli, he's got an ironclad case against me, huh?
Yeah, now it's very ironclad. I mean, with that stupid cake bet, not to mention the card.
I just thought maybe I'd smoke him out, you know?
Well, what was the cake supposed to do? Blow him out?
Look, I didn't know what I was doing. Anyway, what's the difference? I mean, you were there, a great detective like you knew what to do right away. And besides, there was no danger, no?
Danger? No danger? You didn't see that shed go up. Now, Novelli is going to consider this attempted murder.
Oh, no. Look, not like I was just trying to help, that's all.
That's fine, Prince. Now, would you do me a favor? Just tell me why you went after Goodfellow. I mean, do you really think he killed Marston?
I don't know what I think. I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm scared, Matt.
You and me have been friends for an awful long time, you know? Now, you got to trust me a little bit now. We'll get this thing worked out. Now, you got to give me 1 hour with Novelli so I can sell him on the truth. Now, you meet us at Mama Novelli's restaurant, all right? Huh? Good night.
him shooting at you, who was it? If Polanski walks in here, I've got to bust him.
No, you don't have to bust him. You can help me set a trap. You see, then the real killer will step right into that trap.
What if the prince walks into it?
Oh, sta tranquilo, he won't. I give you my personal guarantee.
I mean, you don't even know the prince.
Sure I know him. Television, magazines, newspapers. He's a celebrity, and a macho celebrity.
Vince, listen, whoever walks into the trap, he's all yours. Is that fair enough?
I don't know.
Well, of course you don't know. See, that's the whole point. That's why we have to exhaust every possibility we've got.
Yeah, well, there is some new evidence I got to ask him about.
Go ahead and ask.
Saverio? Welcome. Welcome to my humble restaurant, Your Royal Highness.
Thank you, Mrs. Novelli.
Oh, call me Rosa. Like in Rosa the Widow for 15 years.
That kind of Rosa, huh? Yeah.
Listen, Prince, you remember the zoo, the shooting? What happened? I was looking for you.
I ran, and somebody was shooting at me, and I didn't even turn around to look. I mean, I don't know who I'm running away from anymore. I mean, is it Marsden's murderers or the police? Or who am I? Everybody's running after me.
I should read you your rights, but first I have to ask you a question.
Go ahead, ask anything.
4 days before Marsden's death, you received a very large quantity of orange gelatin, enough to float McHale's Navy.
Is that true?
8 cases. 8 cases orange gelatin. I didn't want it. I want to send it back, and the driver said, no, it's already prepaid. And that night, somebody came in and stole it.
And you didn't file a police report?
I thought it was a joke. I mean, 8 cases orange gelatin, what am I going to do with it? No, I didn't call the police. What for?
Excuse me, Mr. Houston, there's a phone call for you.
Excuse me, please.
Vincenzino, credilo. Listen to the prince. His Highness is an honest man.
Thank you, Mrs. Novelli.
Actually, it's been 15.5 years, eh?
Rosa.
Houston. Hello, CJ. Double indemnity?
You got it. They may have been divorced, but Kate Riley stands to get $400,000 from Marston's insurance.
And maybe it's about time I catch up to that busy lady, huh?
Come on, ladies, keep up the pace. We've only got 3 miles to go. Keep your knees up.
I hope he's honking for me.
Go, let's burn off some calories.
Miss Riley!
Yeah, we almost met the other day at Goodfellas' place.
Oh, yeah. Roy Rogers.
But no, it's Matt Houston. And I'll tell you, I'm still investigating the death of your ex-husband. You were at Chez Pierre the night that your ex-husband was found dead. Now, how come you showed up there?
When I got home, there was a message on my answering service. It was from Roger. He said if I met him at Chez Pierre that night, he would give me all my back alimony.
Did you believe him?
But I figured, what do I have to lose?
Did you kill him, Kate?
Roger Marsden committed suicide. That no-good scum made so many enemies. Somebody had to kill him. Did I kill him? No. But there were times I sure would have liked to.
Bud Spellman, newsroom, please. Thank you. Yeah, Vince, how's the prince doing?
It's driving me nuts. I signed my best man to tail and play bodyguard. Polanski tries to lose him.
Well, Vince, now the time for action is now. Now, you agreed to help me set this trap. Now, I'm going to be the bait, all right?
Would it matter if I said no?
Well, yeah. But you're not going to say no, are you, Vince? Yeah, Bud. Yeah, this is Matt Houston. Listen, partner, I need a favor from you. Yeah, I need you to announce on your afternoon news broadcast that I'm going to name Roger Marsden's killer on J. Hamilton Goodfellow's television program today. You do that? Appreciate it, Pard. I owe you one. Thank you.
Hey, Houston, anybody ever accuse you of not playing with a full deck?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's revolting. It's awful. Positively terrible. Well, worst television script I ever read.
Who wrote it?
I did. Not that I can't write. I'm brilliant.
But Rusty, my partner, used to handle this sort of thing.
Maybe you'd be more comfortable in more familiar surroundings, like at home.
Sorry, Butch. I'm camping out in your office until this sordid situation ends. What now, Mr. Pinchpenny?
More unpaid bills from more caterers? How dare you charge all this to Mr. Houston?
Very well. Henceforth, I shall charge them to you. My petal. Oh, yes, a big tip for you. Here you go, Pinchpenny.
I don't believe it.
Now, hush. This is my favorite tune.
Yeah, I'm working on it, CJ. I just haven't found a crane that'll reach the penthouse.
Come along, Sundance. Grab a belly dancer and join me.
Listen, no, I really don't have time for that, but I tell you what, I would like to talk to you about your television show.
Don't tell me you write scripts, too. If so, I'm in dire need of your services.
Well, not really, but I tell you, I do have an idea. Now, it's a slightly different format, but I think you'll enjoy it. If I'm right, it's going to catch us a killer.
Okay, we'll open on a loose two-shot, then come in for a single on Goodfellow.
Matlock, you sure you know who the killer is?
Well, let's just say I'm hoping that he or she is going to tip his or her hand.
You know, Matlock, sometimes you talk funnier than I do. At least I have a reason. I'm mad. You see him standing there so confident and cocky and sure of himself?
You got to admit, Brams, he's got the #1 restaurant in town.
I don't know why the critics, they turned against me. They ruined my restaurant. For what? I mean, they heaped all the praise on him. I mean, he couldn't have got better publicity if he paid for it. I mean it.
Don't worry about it, Press. We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll see you at the restaurant today, all right? All right, bye-bye.
Well, I really didn't expect to see you here, Pierre.
Oh, why not? Roger was my best friend. When I heard you were going to reveal the killer, I wanted to be here.
I hope I don't disappoint you.
Hope you know what you're doing, Houston.
I hope you know what you're doing, Novelli.
I got more cops in the area than Take Two Video's got technicians.
Frankly, I think this whole charade is a complete exercise in futility.
Little more curl.
I mean, no self-respecting killer is going to murder anyone in broad daylight, knowing full well that this place will be crawling with fuzzies. Or you still call piggies?
Looks like an apple in your mouth.
How dare he?
Mr. Houston, I hope you're a big hit on the show, telling the world who the killer is. We can use the ratings.
As well as a competent producer, director.
Quiet, Pac-Man. This is my domain.
I've just had the most awful thought. I do hope that the killer is a good shot. Otherwise, he might miss Houston and hit me.
Now, would you get your exalted buns over here before this producer-director makes you a falling star?
Sit on it, Kate! Oh, woman, this is so exasperating.
Hold it, Houston. We gotta get a mic on you. Harry!
Houston's plan to be the bait worked all right. Unfortunately, a knife showed up, but the fish didn't. So it was back to the drawing board, only we didn't have one. As a matter of fact, we didn't even have our fearless leader.
Oh, these are terrible. Positively revolting. Thank you, my sweetness. Tell that alleged photographer that this food layout is supposed to make my readers salivate, not regurgitate. Burn them, my darling.
If somebody doesn't do something about him, he is going to fly the London Symphony in here for high tea.
Murray, I've done all I can do. Asking him to leave is like telling Sylvester Stallone not to make Rocky IV.
Houston, where have you been? We have been looking everywhere for you.
Well, I've been down to City Hall following up a hunch. Yeah, oh, listen, I think I know who the killer is.
You know who killed Marsden?
Well, I think so, but now all I have to do is prove it. But anyway, CJ, I'll explain all that at the first annual Matt Houston Crime Busters picnic. Well, Japanese, huh? Listen, Mr. Goodfellow, now, when are you gonna taste some of my food? You know, that down-home Texas chili with all those Mexican jalapenos floating around in the pot?
Only when life becomes so unbearable will I be forced to commit hara-kiri. Nothing personal, Sundance. Actually, I wanted to thank you for your most generous hospitality.
Oh, you forget it. I mean, it's nothing any ordinary Texas fool wouldn't do for a total stranger. Listen, I'll see you at the picnic, all right?
Picnic? What picnic?
Oh, boy, ladies, that looks good. Looks like you've done it again for me. Thank you. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hold up on dinner for just a few minutes because I figured we'd all enjoy the food a lot more when we find out who killed Roger Marsden.
Then you know the killer's identity?
Yeah, well, I tell you, I figured we'd just sort of kick back and examine the facts, cover a little ground, and see what we come up with. Now, that brings us to number one, the good Prince Polanski, who our lieutenant, Lieutenant Novelli, has arrested for Marsden's murder. Now, the lieutenant and I have this problem. See, we really don't think that the Prince did it because I'll tell you something very honestly. If you're going to kill somebody, you don't threaten them publicly. No, sir, you don't. And that brings us to number two, which happens to be Kate and Sam Riley. Now, they're both very good suspects with very good motives, but we can rule them out also.
Airtight alibis.
Yeah, that's right, airtight alibi. You see, you were both present the night that Roger Marsden's body was unveiled in the restaurant. But we did discover that you'd just flown in from Detroit 2 hours earlier, so you really didn't have a chance to kill the man. And that brings us to number three. And that's the lovely Terry Anton. You love your employer very much, don't you?
We're engaged.
That's right. And it gives you a very good motive for murder, doesn't it? Would you like to explain a little bit about that?
I hated Roger Marsden because of what he did to Goody. It was Goody's idea to set up the partnership, and then Roger took over completely. He made Goody do everything that he said. Oh, I hated Roger Marsden. But I didn't kill him. Honest.
Then it was Marsden that wanted me out of the business, not you.
No, I never did. I adored your food.
That's right. So Terry didn't kill Marsden. Besides, he's really not strong enough to kill a man and lug that big body around. No, that really wouldn't work out. So that brings us over here to good old Pierre, Lucky Pierre, I like to call him. Now, what would you think his reason for killing Marsden would be?
Me? Oh, that's ridiculous. I love Roger. Everything I am, I owe to Roger. My restaurant, everything.
That's right, everything and a whole lot more, including a lot of things that a lot of people didn't know anything about, like Mr. Goodfellow. You see, Marsden was running a shakedown racket.
That's preposterous.
Is it really? You see, it takes me back to the day of the television taping. It was something that the Prince said. Yeah, he said Pierre couldn't have gotten better reviews if he paid for them.
6 restaurant owners confirmed it. Marsden traded good reviews for cash.
Marsden got 30% of your restaurant in exchange for destroying the Prince and making your restaurant the #1 restaurant in all of Southern California. CJ, the envelope, please. Thank you. See, right here in this envelope is an official document all the way from City Hall, and it's proof that you and Roger Marsden were partners.
So, I made Roger a partner. That's not against the law.
No, not really, but I tell you what, you got awful tired of giving 30 cents of every dollar you made to Marston. And that's when you killed him.
Houston, that's ridiculous. And, I'll prove it. I'll prove it to you!
I'll be right back.
I'm warning you, if Houston should happen to catch
Relax,
you...
Lamar. I done told you, Houston. And that ain't your march. You can't be running off like that. What?
What is going on?
I'll explain later, fellas.
Don't lock the throttle!
CJ, get this man a check.
Yeah! That's 3,612 to 3,606.
Over here, boys.
This tournament's still got 4 months to go.
Well, I'll be. I thought a little refreshment might be nice on a hot, dusty day.
Yeah, CJ, what is it?
What is what?
Well, now, I know you didn't drive all the way out here just to play Mrs. Santa Claus. Now, you got something on your mind. Why don't you tell me what it is?
Well, as a matter of fact, Houston, now that you mention it, there is something digging at me. You knew deep down that the prince was innocent all along. How come?
Well, I'll tell you, CJ, it's really quite simple now. Ever since I've been knee-high to a grasshopper, the prince has meant a whole lot to me and my family. Not only was he Daddy's favorite cook, he taught me a very important lesson in life, and that's the cowboy code.
The cowboy code? Is that anything like the Dallas Cowboys?
What's your mouth out, girl? Don't you know nothing? Oh, that just goes to show how ignorant a college graduate can get.
Save me, Houston. What is the cowboy code?
Well, CJ, I think the prince found it in an old Western movie because, you see, that's what he thought America was all about at that point in time. It goes something like this. Never shoot first, never hit a smaller man, never take an unfair advantage.
And never go back on your word.
Be kind to kids, elders, and animals.
And don't harbor no religious nor racial intolerance.
That's right. And most important of all, Cowboy is a patriot.
That's kind of nice.
I like it.
So that's how you knew the prince wasn't guilty.
Well, that and the fact that he never could make gelatin.
Better cock your pistols.
Thank you. Hello, Tabby. Hello, my little darling. How are you? Little hors d'oeuvre, huh? Here we go. Beautiful for you. Tabby, come back here. Come back here. Tabby, I've got something for you, Tabby. Come on, Tabby. Here we go. I know where you are. Come on. Tabby.
say. If the best things in life are free, how come everyone's always squabbling over the money? And boy, were the squabbles out today.
I know, but if you tell me how much...
What's going on in there?
They've been there an hour. Sir, I just have a couple of papers for you to sign. It's nothing important. May I, sir?
Oh, help yourself, Murray. Listen, I don't believe I've ever seen you take a drink before.
Oh, just at weddings. Wakes.
Murray, what is going on in there?
Would you excuse me just a minute? Thank you. How long are you going to be?
Girl,
CJ, what'd you get me into?
Well, now, Houston, you're a man who's fascinated by intriguing cases. Well, this one's a dilly. Do you remember reading in yesterday's paper about the death of that cat food millionaire?
Well, who could forget? I mean, right in the middle of Beverly Hills, a man gets mauled to death by his favorite tiger.
Yes, William, folks call him Felix Randolph. One of the richest men in America, married 4 times, divorced 4 times.
You mean that's what's out there right now?
You got it. Wives 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh, my heart, be still.
Can we get this show on the road? We have been waiting long enough. Who's this, your gardener?
Matlock Houston. May I present the first Mrs. Randolph, presently known as Mrs. Lauren Calder, Matlock Houston.
Well, you will have to do. Now, we have a problem. One of us murdered Felix, and we want to hire you to find out who.
Can we hurry up? I have to go.
Zizi Tabori, wife number 2.
I have a very important date with my masseur.
Did she say murder?
Don't be shocked if we don't seem grief-stricken, Mr. Houston. You see, Felix was the world's nastiest man.
To know him was to hate him.
This is one thing we all agree on.
Except for me. I loved him.
Oh, brother. Say hello to number 4.
Hi.
I did. For a little while.
The acting lessons are beginning to pay off. Of course, the wringing hands clutched to the bosom may be a little too much.
At least I have a bosom to clutch.
Now.
Ladies, please.
It's a miracle of modern medicine.
Don't give away secrets, girls. Gravity gets us all in the end.
You're right, darling. We followed you in.
Darling.
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 Zizi.
Ladies, just hold your horses for a minute. CJ, please.
Well, Felix Randolph had a will. Now, in that will, he insisted someone was trying to murder him.
That's the word I heard.
One of his ex-wives. Now, obviously, he didn't want the murderer to profit from his death, so...
None of us gets a nickel until the guilty one is found. Until then, all the money goes to the support of his cats.
$70 million.
You see, Felix was one of those lovely husbands who played cat and mouse, the rat.
So, we need you to find out which one of them, or us,
You.
killed him, and then to settle the will.
To tell the truth, Mr. Houston, we all need the money.
Ladies, I'll tell you what. We'll take a look at all the details
right,
in
we'll
the
go,
will and its provisions. Right.
Would you hurry it up, cowboy? Because as Miss Goody Two-Shoes said, we all need the bucks.
Right.
And what a cowboy!
I have to see you. Alone. I have to see you.
All right.
Look, I think I can help you solve this case.
Bye-bye. CJ, I want to have a word with you.
You bet.
You know, CJ, 4 ex-wives and a whole bunch of big cats is not exactly my style.
Well, I know, Houston, but if it'll make you feel any better, he didn't do too well himself. Now, here you have Felix Randolph, famous cat food millionaire, owned the largest private reserve of cats in the world, not to mention 4 big cats who just left your office.
Yeah, I guess you could call them the fearless feline foursome.
Yes, you could. Good.
You could.
Apparently, all parties got what they deserved because the word vanity, that's Felix. He took 4 or 5 showers a day, loved to splash himself with cologne. Ironically enough, it's called Crown Jaguar.
CJ, the man ran a private zoo. He must have known the danger that's involved with that. Now, why do the police think it's murder?
Apparently, Novelli had a conversation with this young man, Buddy Young. He tends to the animals. He's a very simple kid, but he's very sweet. And he insists that all the big cats are kept under lock and key all the time.
It means the killer cat had to be let out of the cage.
So it seems.
Yeah.
Houston, where are you going?
Well, I'm going to go out to Felix's Beverly Hills cat farm, see what I can find out. Now, meanwhile, you dig up what you can on the ex-wives. If we're lucky, we'll find out that they all did it.
Bad boy. Back in your house. Good. It's okay now. I'm sorry. I let him out when I was washing the cage. I think you scared him. That's why he growled.
In fact. Is this the tiger that killed Felix Randolph?
They're gonna take him away. They're gonna put him to sleep. Pasha's a good tiger. He's pretty old, though, but he doesn't see so well anymore. He used to let Mr. Felix pet him.
Mr. Randolph used to pet this tiger?
A long time ago. Maybe tigers forget. They're not like elephants.
Well, hello, Vince.
Hello, Houston. What are you doing out here?
Well, some folks asked me to look into this.
Hello, Lieutenant Novelli.
Hi, buddy. Listen, son, we're going to ask you to come along with us.
Where?
Down to the station. We want to talk to you down there about Mr. Randolph and how he was killed.
But I told you already. What's the matter?
Gently.
Vince, what's going on here?
Buddy, I have to arrest you for the murder of Mr. Randolph.
Me?
Put him in the car and read him his rights.
I don't believe this.
I didn't do it. I wouldn't hurt nobody. Who's gonna water the animals?
For crying out loud, Vince, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, don't make me feel any worse than I already do.
kid knows no more about murder than a hog knows about a buggy whip. Now, why don't you tell me what's going on?
Give me a better suspect. Nothing would make me happier.
I believe I'll do that.
By morning, we dug up the personal histories on Felix's ex-wives. The info on Ava, his last wife, was short and to the point. Felix had gone to Las Vegas on a toot and had tooted just a bit too much, waking up in a hotel room with a hangover and a new bride formerly fourth from the right on the chorus line.
Hello? Anybody home?
No.
That girl's hurting.
No. Listen.
Oh, Mr. Houston. Come on in. We'll continue later. I'm so glad you've come. I just heard the good news. They arrested the guilty man. Isn't that wonderful? I mean, it isn't wonderful, that poor, simple boy. But at least now we get to go ahead and collect our inheritances.
Well, I wouldn't get too excited about that just yet, because I'm not real satisfied that the poor, simple boy is guilty.
What? But... not satisfied?
No.
I mean, the police are.
Police have the boy's head on a chopping block, but they haven't chopped it off yet. Now, you told me you wanted to talk to me at the office. Something about helping me solve this case?
Well, that was before Buddy was arrested. I thought I knew who did it. I thought it was Lauren. Lauren Calder, his first wife. She really hated him.
Is that right?
She was supposed to get some kind of a loan from him for something to do with her company, Crown Jaguar.
Crown Jaguar Cologne?
That's part of it. It's a whole cosmetics company. She started it after her divorce from Felix.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he used to wear this Crown Jaguar cologne all the time, right?
Of course. He only did it to drive us other wives crazy. He always played one against the other.
Well, now back to the loan. Did she get it?
Felix promised it to her, and then he didn't give it to her. He did things like that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
She went through the roof. She threatened him. He told me. And she's tough. I really think she'd... If any of us did it, it was her.
Well, that's interesting. That's real interesting. First, we got the poor, simple boy that did it. Then we got wife number one that did it. Now, why don't you let me ask you a question? Why didn't you do it? I'm sorry. That's right. I forgot. You're the one that loved him. Happy trails.
Are you making fun of me?
I don't do that to people.
Look, you didn't know Felix. He toyed with people. He played games with them. This whole thing with the will, it's just a cruel game to keep the money from us. This is just like him.
Well, you're the one that keeps insisting that you loved him.
He said he'd put me in the movies. He gave me singing lessons and dancing lessons and acting lessons, and then he laughed at me when I showed him what I could do. I'm glad he's dead. He deserved to die.
Did you kill him?
You're leaving. And don't you come back here. And don't you upset her ever again.
It's okay, John. Mr. Houston, this is John, my physical culturist and executive producer.
Executive producer.
Well, he'll be my executive producer when we make the film, after we get the money from the estate to make the film.
Just goes to show you that talent will out, huh? Bye now. Yeah, CJ, just checking up on you. Listen, did you get Buddy bailed out of jail yet?
About 2 hours ago, we took him right back to the estate.
Tell him. Tell him. Tell him how much.
That's Murray saying hello.
$200,000 bail. What's that?
That's Murray sending his regards, Houston.
Oh, you straightened that hem. Good. That looks pretty. All right, thank you. You all look very nice. Tell Alfred we may do some stills today.
You will confine your meeting to the time Miss Calder allows.
You're very protective of your boss, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Why, Mr. Houston, perhaps you're just in time to give us a man's point of view.
Well, I believe they all ought to get a 10.
The perfume they're wearing. You have a nose for scents?
Well, I'm willing to learn.
Well, would you mind? Give us your opinion as to whether or not the fragrance fits the occasion. For instance, game time, our little beachwear girl over there, and on the end, the evening dress.
Well, I'm willing to give it a whirl. Game time, huh? You seem like the athletic type.
I'm a real good sport.
I'll bet you are. Something you knitted in your spare time? Tell me something. What happens when it hits the water?
When you get it wet, it shrinks.
Evening. Oh, boy, what a nice way to end the day.
Perfume, Mr. Houston.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. It all seems to match up fine. I like it a lot.
Thank you. You report to photography.
555-2200.
I understand you've been seeing an awful lot of your ex-husband lately. Something to do with money?
It's no secret. Larger companies been trying to take me over. I could have stopped them in their tracks if he'd co-signed a loan, but he strung me along and then pulled out at the last minute. Now I'm in a proxy fight and I'm in danger of losing my own company.
Well, I would imagine a company like this would take a lot of years of a person's life, huh?
It is my life, and Mr. Houston, make no mistake about it. I intend to keep it. I will do anything to keep it. Now, if anybody had a reason to kill Felix, I did. I married Felix when I was 16. Oh, he was no millionaire then. He was a butcher's helper. I collected the scraps and ground them into cat food, and I went out and peddled to the housewives, and I made the deals, and I built that fortune the same as he did.
And you needed a loan from him, right?
$20 million just till the end of the month. Instead, he'd let me sink and laughed at me all the while.
Well, now that he's dead, you'll inherit at least that much, won't you?
Houston, I built 2 fortunes. Do you really think I'd kill him to get out of a jam? No, I didn't kill him. But I dedicate a statue to the one who did.
Who might the statue look like?
Darling, can't you guess?
I see.
Mr. Houston was just leaving.
Oh, that's my favorite suit. Thank you.
Bart, something I want you to attend to.
Yes, ma'am.
would Buddy try to kill me when I put up his bail? I just can't believe it. I can't believe what he did.
Lieutenant, you gotta get out an APB. A 10-4, whatever you call it. You gotta get men out there, cops and cars.
Murray, we don't need to send out the Marines.
Oh, sure. Joke about it. But we put up the bail money. $200,000. That kid ran off with $200,000 of your money.
Murray, don't get ahead of yourself. Nobody runs off until they don't show up in court.
Every minute we're talking, that kid's running. Our money is getting further away. I can't make them understand.
Murray!
Our money...
Would you get me some coffee, please?
Sure.
No, not this kind. You know the kind I love. The kind I drink at the Oiler games.
You want me to go to Houston to buy you a cup of coffee?
Right.
You're kidding.
Right. Murray, I'm feeling kind of low.
Gotcha.
Houston, I appreciate you've got a big heart. But I told you were playing with fire when you bailed that kid out.
Vince, I can't see him in jail.
Well, where is he now? And Murray was right about one thing. I gotta put an all-points bulletin out on that kid.
Oh, come on now, Vince. That's getting a little dangerous. I mean, we're not dealing with Jack the Ripper here.
I know. Houston, he tried to kill you.
You can't put him in custody, Vince. The boy does not communicate very well. I'm afraid he's going to do the wrong thing.
I gotta put out an APB. I'll add a caution.
That kid had to know I was trying to help him.
He probably went back to the estate. From everything you've told me about him, he isn't very comfortable outside the world he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's got to be an explanation for what he did. Now, what are the possibilities?
Somebody put him up to it.
Or he's trying to cover for somebody. Whatever it is, that's what we got to find out.
Obviously. Felix's third wife was the ultimate mating machine, the gold-digging, jet-setting, mind-boggling Zizi Tabori. It was a wild ride while it lasted. Today, she runs the Aphrodite Health Farm.
I know who you are. You're Matt Houston.
Right.
I know what this is about, and I don't want you upsetting her. It's about that filthy ex-husband of hers. If you want to lay that on someone, lay it on one of the other wives. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. Now, listen, I hate talking to myself.
Or you'll have to deal with me. Get it?
Loud and clear.
I want to be sure we understand each other. I hate to get rough.
I just want to ask her a couple of questions, if it's all right with you.
She's in there.
Thanks.
Oh, remember what I said about getting rough?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to chance that.
Karate!
Hello, darling. All right, boys, stop it a moment. I was expecting you.
So I understand.
What can I do for you?
Well, just the obvious.
You think that I killed Felix and that I would profit from his death. Well, of course I would. I'm mortgaged to the hilt. If this goes on much longer, I will have to dismiss all these wonderful bosseurs of mine. Don't worry, my darlings. I'd rather walk the street than let you go. But thank God, the simple boy done the job for me. By the way, do you know that the simple boy only takes orders from his mother?
You mean Buddy? I don't believe I met his mother.
Well, we really don't know who his mother is. He's an orphan. But the lady he calls his mother is Felix's third wife. We call her the Saint. You see, she had an orphanage years ago. And that's where the simple boy was raised. And that's where he learned how to treat wild animals. That's why he was on the estate.
Well, thank you. I think.
Everybody out? Now stay together, please.
Here's Ahern.
Mr. Houston, well, what brings you down here?
Well, I tried to get you at the house, and they told me I'd run into you out here. See, I'd kind of like to talk to you about Buddy.
Buddy?
Yeah, well, I'm sure that's true, but you see, there's some people that say Buddy would kill for you. Is that right?
That's a terrible thing to say.
Well, I know that, but do you think he would?
I should have killed Felix. You know that? He's hurt everybody he's ever touched. He even wanted to pull the plug on the children's home. End it all. Just like that. Of course, he owned the land. And I don't have any other money. Not real money. Not what it would take.
Listen, did Buddy know that?
I guess so. When I go over to the house, he'd hear the screaming. Me begging Felix, him laughing, and me cursing him.
Listen, do you know where he is?
Buddy?
Yeah.
Well, the police asked that same question.
Listen, you got to talk to me. I care an awful lot about Buddy, and I'm just trying to help him. Now, can you tell me where he is?
Well, there are only a couple of places he'd go. The estate, of course, with animals. And the home. And he used to come here to play miniature golf. But he doesn't have any friends. So you can play miniature golf alone.
Buddy! Hang on a minute, I want to talk to you. Buddy! Sorry. Give me that rope, Bert. trying to kill, buddy? You or me?
I wouldn't hurt nobody, especially not Mr. Houston. I would never have crashed you. I promise. Just scare you off.
Why, buddy?
I know about Mr. Felix's will. You don't think so, but I know. How Mr. Houston was supposed to see if one of Mr. Felix's wives was a murderer.
Tell me something. Why would that make you want to scare me?
Because they told me on the phone.
Who told you?
I don't know, but they told me. You want to blame it on my mother.
Was it a man's voice?
A woman's voice.
I don't remember.
Buddy, this is a murder case. Are you aware of the fact that you are still under indictment and we are trying very hard to clear you?
Oh, it's all right. A jury won't convict me.
Buddy, do you know something we don't know? Why won't a jury convict you?
Because I didn't do it.
Hey! Hey! What are you doing? Oh, Margarita, this isn't the pine forest. This is a piece of Italy. When you smell the cheese, you know. When you smell the oil, you know. The smell here is part of everything. Via con...
Oh, Mama. Come here.
Hey, what's that for?
It's because I owe you one, Mama.
Oh, I love it. So owe me again?
How's that?
I'll tell you after you tip me again. Simpaticone.
You know, tips like that can starve a girl.
Hey! You got your diet, I got mine. Victor?
Listen, Vince, I think I got it. I think I've got it. It's been haunting me all the time. Tell me something. How do you train a house pet, whether it's a tiger or not, to be a killer?
That's easy. The 3 S's.
Right. Sight, sound, and smell. Go on, buddy. Tell him.
If you beat a dog, he's gonna hate you on sight. If you blow a whistle, every time you take his food away, he's gonna hate that sound.
And the 3rd S is smell.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you can train an animal by a certain smell. Huh.
Now, you remember the coroner's report? The strong smell of cologne. Now, buddy, this is the bottle of Crown Jaguar cologne that we took off Felix's dressing table.
Yes.
And this is the stuff that he wore all the time, all day long, every day.
He always wore it.
He wore this stuff when he used to pet and feed the tiger, right?
He always wore the same thing.
All right, let's try something, buddy. Follow that on there. CJ. Now, that is the bottle that we found on Felix's body the morning he was killed. That's the bottle. Advance. Oh, look at that. Makes a difference, doesn't it? Now, that bottle has been tampered with, and I think it's going to tell us who killed Felix. CJ, I want you to get on the horn, call the 4 ex-wives, and get them out here as soon as possible.
Get them here voluntarily? You gonna sell tickets?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I reckon you all know why you're here.
Here comes the Charlie Chan scene.
Charlie who?
Yeah, well, it is sort of like that. You see, I figure in order to catch the killer, I got to get all my suspects right here in one spot.
Marvelous, darling. You expect one of us just to jump up and confess?
Well, not exactly like that, no.
Well, I can hardly wait to see how you're going to do this.
Me too. Now, let's talk about some facts here, folks. Now, all of you had a very good reason for wanting Felix dead. You built up his business in a day and age where the little woman was supposed to stay at home and give him all the credit, not to mention all the money. And when you went to him for a loan, small loan of $20 million to keep your new business afloat, he just kind of smiled and walked away.
Man was right in character.
Yeah, yes, he was. And you needed a loan to save your school and the orphans. And just for fun, he said no.
He was a real sweetheart.
Yes, he was. You two, you're mortgaged to the hilt. Huh. You have an alternative lifestyle, and you just want to be a star and cut a new record.
I'm 22, for crying out loud. I don't have a lot of time left. Oh.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. But anyway, folks, that's it. All the motives are right here. Now, you all had very good access to this place.
Access for what reason?
To fix it so the tiger could kill Felix.
Listen, darling, you beautiful thing. Did it ever occur to you, police genius, that maybe it was an accident? Maybe the gate was left open. And maybe it was that simple boy.
No!
Oh, well, I don't think so. See, I believe it was murder.
Oh, my God, that's Pasha! Don't run. Move away slowly. You're attacked.
How did it get loose? I don't see why you guys are so afraid of Pasha. It's just a great big pussycat.
Past tense, darling. Have you forgotten that Pasha ate Felix for breakfast a few days ago?
Wonderful for him.
ZZ, maybe you could tell me something. Have you ever heard of the phrase programmed to kill?
Programmed? What are you talking about?
Well, I tell you, it's called teaching an old tiger new tricks, and I believe that was your job, wasn't it, Richard?
Job?
Well, you see, while ZZ was keeping Felix busy up there in the house, you were training that tiger to hate your special brew perfume. Hate it enough to kill anybody that was wearing it.
Darling, beautiful thing. You have no proof.
Well, then you wouldn't mind if I just gave you a little spritz of Felix's cologne, huh? Well, I think that about does it. Buddy, come on out of there, buddy.
Why didn't Pasha kill me?
Well, I'll tell you, that's because this isn't really the death bottle. It's down at police headquarters where it belongs. This is just an ordinary bottle right off the shelf.
Stupid me. And you even more stupid.
I'm gonna kill you.
Oh, you got it, gentlemen. It's all yours.
Karate!
Come here.
Oh!
Look, this is pointless. I don't want to hurt you at all right? Vince, come on now. Let's get this thing over with, okay?
Didn't you call him?
He's supposed to be here right now. Vince! Vince!
Karate!
Tiger.
The old point to the tiger trick, huh?
Works every time.
But, Mr. Houston, all this should be receipted.
I will get the names and addresses and issue checks.
Murray, checks take forever. You see, the people who sell popcorn and handle the boat rides in this world all have bills to pay right now. Just pay them what I owe them from yesterday.
If you insist.
Yes, I do. I insist. Now, also, you tell them that the orphan kids have got a free running tab at their places until this runs out. And when it does, tell them they can come back for more.
Sir, these are $100 bills.
Right. Good night, Murray.
Good night, sir.
Cheers. You know what's so terrific about working with you, Houston?
What's that?
Everything. Just think what you've accomplished in the last couple of days. Buddy and Pasha have both been reprieved from their death sentences.
Yeah, not to mention the ex-wives got all her money.
And St. Audrey got that palatial estate, which is a perfect place for her to expand her orphan home facilities.
Don't forget about Lauren. She's a cinch to win her proxy fight.
And if the cover of Variety is correct, little Ava's about to make her very own movie.
Oh, boy. Let's not forget Zizi. I think it's going to be an awful long time before she gets another massage.
I suspect you're right. Now, if you and Vince Novelli can only synchronize your watches when it comes to trapping a killer.
Oh, either that or just always have Tiger with us, huh? Or maybe not.
We'll meet you at the side gate. If we're not out in 3 minutes, hey, don't worry, I'll find you. Just me, Emmett. Don't fight.
Understand? There's trouble in the girls' quarters.
Peg, I love you. Can't you see they're killing you?
See?
Satan. Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Satan.
Get out!
Oh, 3 guys. One was her brother.
Emmett, I told you to renounce him, Peg. You have no brother.
I do. I do renounce him, Jesse. I didn't want for this to happen. I'm sorry, Jesse.
There is no room for sorries in the kingdom of heaven. Not without penance. The whipping post. Strip her and punish her.
I'm sorry, Jesse.
Peg, if your heart had been pure, this never would have happened.
I love you, Jesse.
On my 33rd birthday, God appeared to me in a vision. God looked down on me and he said, Jesse Mercer, I have chosen you to save mankind from destroying himself. But God, I protested, you sent Jesus Christ to do that. Well, God just looked at me and shook his head and he said, Jesse, Jesus Christ started it. Now I want you to finish the job.
Who does he think he is?
It was up to me to fulfill our Father's wish. He told me to quit my job.
That's my sister. There.
What makes you think that Mercer is trying to kill her?
History. In 2 days, Peg turns 21. When she does, she gets free access to the inheritance our folks left her.
It's over $3 million, Houston. She's already talked to the family attorney and asked that it be cash so that she can donate it to the church.
Well, look, it seems to me that as soon as the money is handed over to Mercer, I mean, it's his free and clear. Why would he bother to try and kill her?
CJ and I did some checking while you were still out about 30 miles on that skiff of yours. And what we were able to dig out about the past of the cult more or less confirms Emmett's opinion.
History lesson number 1, Houston. Oklahoma, 4 years ago. This girl sold everything she had, Houston. The house, the car. She gave Mercer $60,000. Everything seemed rosy for about a month, and then she had a change of heart.
When Mercer wouldn't give the money back, she went to the local DA. She claimed that Mercer had conned and swindled her. It created quite a stink, and she died quite suddenly.
He killed her.
Officially, the coroner called it an accident. Lady swallowed too many pills, washed them down with whiskey.
History lesson number 2. 18 months ago, this girl joined Mercer's cult. She promptly turned over her entire trust fund, $100,000.
And she didn't even get a chance to have second thoughts. Mercer killed her less than 24 hours after she turned over the money.
The official cause of death was a rattlesnake bite. Seems the critter slithered into her sleeping bag during the night.
Tell me something. Has anybody ever made a large donation to the so-called church and survived?
Not that we have found any trace of.
And Mercer won't have to stage an act this time, Houston. Emmett's sister is a diabetic.
Well, Mercer told Peg that once she's turned over the money, as an act of faith, he's going to throw away her insulin. He's going to faith heal her.
Houston, if you want to fight windmills, go to Holland.
Peg Allison is in grave danger.
The world is in grave danger. You read the papers this morning?
This girl is about to turn over $3 million to Mercer. Very shortly thereafter, Mercer is going to faith heal her to death.
Sad, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Let me tell you, this Mercer and other crazies like him got the safest hiding place on earth. Smack dab behind the First Amendment. Freedom of religion.
What you're telling me is that legally, as long as she feels that she's a member of this cult, we can't do anything to save her?
Religions are free to worship animal, vegetable, mineral, or person. And I can't touch them with a 10-foot Bible.
Yeah, well, what if she's being held against her will?
You got any proof?
Her brother seems to think that she's being drugged. He thinks that they're tampering with her insulin just to throw her off balance.
Now you're reaching for straws.
No, I'm grasping for straws, Hoyt. You leave me no choice. I got a feeling on this.
Get me proof. Any shred of tangible proof that this girl is being held against her will, and I'll take on the windmill with you.
Hi there.
Hello. Any luck?
Judge Robbins says without proof he can't justify issuing a court order. What about Hoyt?
Same song. He needs proof.
Well, then, Houston, it's catch-22. To get the order, we need medical tests proving that Mercer is using drugs to con Peg. And there's no way he's going to let us within 10 feet of her.
Oh, what if Mercer just thought that he had to let us see her and didn't know that we were after the medical test?
What would make him think that?
Court order.
Why do I think I'm not going to like this?
We will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves. We will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves.
I'm better now, Jesse.
The punishment has cleansed your soul, Peg. Brother Riggs, take Peg to my quarters.
Bringing in the sheaves. We will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves, bringing in the sheaves. We will come rejoicing, bringing in the sheaves.
Idea what kind of trouble we can get in for forging a court order?
Well, CJ, you gotta bend the rules every now and then.
Oh, really? Just a good thing you've got me along with you to help you pull this one off. As long as Mercer realizes that he's dealing with a respectable lawyer, he might not look too closely at our other credentials.
Are you insinuating that I don't look respectable?
You look respectable enough for a bush pilot.
This being private property, I must assume that you're lost.
You assumed incorrectly. I'm DJ Parsons. I'm a lawyer from Los Angeles. I have a court order that authorizes me to get a deposition from Peg Allison. I assume she's here, Reverend Mercer?
Well, she's not feeling too well. A touch of the flu. What about him? Oh, I haven't had flu in years. I'm fine, thank you.
He's my pilot. I'd like to see Miss Allison now.
A brother sent you.
He has a right to know that she's alive and well.
Well, I said she's sick.
And I said that I have a court order. I assume you know what it means if you violate it.
Well, we've nothing to hide. Peg is here of her own free will.
Well, I'd like to hear that from her.
You will. Follow.
What would you like me to do, Miss Parsons?
Why don't you feed and water the chopper? I won't be long.
Feed and water the chopper? Peg, this woman would like to talk to you
About what?
about how you enjoy living here, working with your brothers and sisters for the glory of our Father, about how...
Reverend, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk to Peg alone. The court order so stipulates.
Peg, I want you to cooperate with Miss Parsons. I want you to tell her the truth.
Your brother Emmett sent me.
Emmett is Satan.
No. No, he loves you. He's worried about you.
Emmett is evil.
He believes the people here are using drugs on you. That they're withholding your insulin. He thinks they're playing with your mind.
This is my family. Emmett is evil. Emmett is Satan.
All right. Let's prove it. Let me take a blood sample. And if it's negative, then Emmett is Satan. And Jesse is the Messiah. But let's prove it, Peg. Okay? What do you say?
But are you really happy with your life? Haven't you ever wondered who you are, why you're here, where you're going?
Why, I think I'm going to see how Miss Parsons is doing. Thank you.
That should satisfy Emmett and the court. Goodbye, Reverend. We're ready to go.
Look, Rev, ever need a fast trip out of the country, let me know, huh? Thanks, please. If they're doing something, the sample should prove it.
Well, I hope we get back in time. She's not looking too good.
Well, I'll tell you what, first things first. All we gotta worry about now is getting out of here.
That's right.
What did you tell her, Peg? Did you tell her you're being held here against your will?
No, Jesse. I'm here of my own free will. I told her that.
Throw the gun out, flyboy, or we finish off the lady lawyer.
Satan's handmaiden has fallen. How sad.
I've got to worry. As I remember, the score down at Guyana was Jim Jones, 9-13, opponent zip.
Look, how much further? Why? Got a hot date or something? Well, what I got is a lady that's carrying your bullet inside of her body. I'll tell you something, if she didn't pull through... Hey! You've got the best medical care around. You got any complaints? Talk to Carl. That road there. Make a right. Easy. Take it easy.
I'm trying.
I know. We gotta give her another shot of morphine.
Very little left. Pain's only gonna get worse. I think we better wait.
You know, Jesse says I gotta keep you and the lady lawyer alive until Friday. Now, after that, Jesse doesn't give a damn what happens. But I care. I really care.
Roy. Blood.
Shell casing. Lots of them.
This is Lieutenant Hoyt. Patch me through to Watch Commander. Fast.
And in closing, we want to give thanks for the leadership that you have bestowed upon me. Amen. Now be strong. I promise you that we will emerge from this time of tribulation stronger than ever. You all have faith in Jesse?
Yes.
Has Jesse ever let you down?
No.
Then be at peace. Now, Sister Claudia will lead you in the morning hymn.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like...
There. The insulin should make you feel better.
I hope so.
I know so. Well, the big day is almost here, Peg.
Big day?
Friday. The day Peg Allison guarantees herself a place in the kingdom of heaven. A seat at the right hand of God. You haven't changed your mind now, have you? About the money?
Huh? Oh, no. I'll do whatever you want.
Bless you.
Carl, you mean to tell me that there's nothing left in this damn bag that's gonna help her? That's great.
Oh, CJ.
This is something else, isn't it? You're a very special lady. But you gotta hang on.
From a used car salesman to a multi-millionaire playboy in 4 short years. If word ever got out that owner cult is so profitable, there'd be more shepherds than there'd be sheep. The moment I get my hands on that $3 million, it's sayonara, US of A.
What about your flock? What happens to them?
Well, they were looking for a messiah when I found them. They'll either get smart and go home, or find themselves another one. There's plenty of them out there. We're now going to switch back to our remote unit that's been covering the bizarre disappearance of Detective Matt Houston and lawyer C.J. Parsons. Any new developments out there, Sharon?
Let's ask Lieutenant Michael Hoyt, the man who's heading up this investigation. What can you tell us, Lieutenant?
Only that we're in the process of issuing APBs on Reverend Jesse Mercer and members of his congregation.
Charging them with?
Investigation of kidnapping and murder.
It's Gambler. Tell him we're gonna move. We'll roll out of here in 3 minutes.
Looks like they're moving again. There must be some kind of trouble.
Let's hope it's the kind of trouble that helps us.
I say we kill all 3 of them now.
And I say we kill nobody. Until I have Peg Allison's inheritance in hand, we're long out of this country. Now, you stay here, make sure nothing happens to our guests.
I hate to pack it in, but I don't know where to start looking.
Colts are like moles. They can crawl in a California hole and surface in Colorado.
Remind me to give both of you my lecture on positive thinking. In the meantime, turn around.
All right, fellas, spread out. Hold it right there.
You must be Lieutenant Hoyt. The slander I've heard on my car radio, the blasphemer who calls me a kidnapper and a murderer. Now look. No, now you look. And listen. We have been in Arizona for the past week on our annual retreat into the desert.
How do you explain the helicopter?
I can't. I've never seen it. We've been in Arizona.
You can prove that? You have witnesses?
You're surrounded by witnesses. We all vouch for one another. Thou shalt not bear false witness, and thou shalt either arrest me and risk a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, or get off this property right now, because I am in no mood to forgive those who trespass. Need I remind you how the court deals with infidels who violate the First Amendment and its freedom of religious guarantees?
Clear the premises! That's an order!
Lieutenant, you're not gonna let this creep get off the hook so easily. You can't let
I wanted the premises cleared! That applies to you too, Allison.
I can't get her pulse.
No, I got her pulse. It's weak, though. We gotta get her to a hospital.
Girl, you just keep her alive. I'm gonna get us out of here.
Yes, sir. I understand, sir. You have made yourself perfectly clear, sir. Yes, sir. Whatever you say, sir. Yes, sir. Good night to you, too, sir.
That's telling him.
This may surprise you, but I have a family to feed. I like my job. I have my own office. I have my own police car. I get a chance to wear a suit and a tie. And I have no desire to go back out on foot patrol.
So you tell the captain anything he wants to hear?
When he's right, yes. Roy, we have no proof that Jesse Mercer has broken any laws. That cult leader is hiding behind the Constitution, the American flag, and apple pie. And my hands are completely tied.
Well, mine aren't.
Roy.
Lieutenant. My nephew and CJ are missing. Maybe dead. Whether you like it or not, I'm going to do something about it.
You're my attorney. You're paid to do what I tell you.
Miss Allison, I'm also paid to give you advice. And I'm advising you to reconsider. As executor of your parents' will, I have certain obligations. And I feel I wouldn't be doing my job unless I warned you that...
Mr. Addison, I don't want to argue. Just bring me my inheritance. All $3 million this afternoon in cash. 4 o'clock, Cassandra Park, by the fountain.
Bingo.
I see Riggs, but no Scanlon.
sue him now.
There's a Bible passage that says the love of money is the root of all evil. And I can't wait to get my hands on all $3 million worth of that evil.
Thank you. All set. Our chartered jet's ready to take off the minute we hit the airport.
First stop, Buenos Aires. That's after I faith heal our little diabetic. Well, that's it. Let's go. You know something? I'm gonna miss all this. There's a certain something about having power. Total control over people. Life and death say so. Oh, what the hell? Peg's $3 million and the rest of the money I got stashed around, I'll be able to buy everything I'll ever need. Including power. Now be of good cheer. By the time I return with Peg's love offerings, your lives will be drastically changed.
How so, Jesse?
Now, that's a surprise. But I can tell you this much. It has something to do with going international.
His office. Roy, that is against the law.
Now you tell me. Lieutenant, I got the name of Peggy Allison's lawyer from her brother. I had to take the chance that she might call in and set the time of the meeting.
What good is that going to do you?
I'm going to be there. Once Mercer has Peg Allison's money, he's going to kill her. I got to stop him.
Alone?
Oh, I figure he'll have a little help.
You don't know how good it is to see you, boy. Where's CJ?
Uncle Roy, she was shot. She's in the hospital right now. It's all right. She's gonna be fine.
Well, now you can join us.
You're coming?
Oh, somebody's got to make sure you two don't break the law.
Hey, wait. Where are we going?
To baptize a phony preacher.
It all seems to be there. That's quite a bit of money I have in there, Reverend. Have you thought about putting it in a safe place?
Well, actually, I have thought about it quite a lot.
Jesse, wait!
Hold it, Mercer!
Boy, you keep an eye on the girl and make sure the Peg gets to a hospital, all right?
This looks great. Look at the sunset.
Isn't it fabulous? And the weather's great there this time of year. Look at the white sand beaches. They're
I've never been
beautiful.
there.
Oh, you're kidding.
Never?
Oh, and the food is so good. And they eat like a pig.
Beaches.
Yeah.
They're so beautiful.
Mhm. I can take surfing lessons, I think.
Surfing?
Well, maybe not.
CJ, what are you doing?
Oh, Houston. The doctor said that I had to take the next 3 weeks off, so I thought I'd take a vacation.
Maybe Hawaii.
A vacation?
Uh-huh. What's the matter?
Well, it's just when you were in the hospital, things kind of stacked up around here.
Yeah, it's paperwork. Some of it looks urgent.
Yeah, all of it. CJ, I'm sorry. I just didn't know that you'd planned on taking some more time off. I promised Murray that you would go over some of this paperwork with him. No, you need the time off.
No, Houston, I won't take a
Doctor's
vacation. If
orders.
you need me to stay here, I can.
Excuse me. Miss Parsons' limo is ready.
I didn't order limo.
We did. Your private jet departs for Hawaii in 1 hour.
I don't believe you guys.
Did you really think that we were going to rob you of your recuperation time, huh?
What about the paperwork?
Oh, come on, forget about it. It's not a problem. And we sent it to Hawaii yesterday. Let's go.